Okay, so I thought I would play around with the turtle a bit from chapter 3. And so here I import turtle as uppercase T. It allows me to do it as a short name, so I can mess with it this way and make my window t.screen, so I invoke a screen that way, and T1 instead of Alex or something like that. I made my first turtle. Maybe I want to make more than one turtle, but make my first turtle T1. And now in the textbook they have this main loop here, and window main loop, and that was to allow the user to close the window. And what I've found just playing around with it is I don't want that in this cell. I don't actually want to run it yet. So what I'll do is I'll run this cell here, and as I make things, I'll insert cells below it, but I'm not going to actually run this one. So I wouldn't necessarily even have to have it here, or I could put a comment on this for now to make sure I don't accidentally run it. But what I've found is I can create my screen and then keep adding to it as long as I don't run this command with the main loop. That seems to be a problem. And so I'll go ahead and run this cell, and I'll insert one below when I do it. Did I try to run all of them? Let me restart and clear output. This may be a short video. Oh, maybe I was clicked in that window. Yeah, that was the problem. I think I clicked in there to show you what was going on. I wasn't clicked up there. So we'll try that again. So I'll run cells and insert below, not select below. And so there made my window. And so, we can kind of keep coming back to that window. I've got it here. This is that window. So I'll click back here. And one of the things I wonder is, this turtle, it has coordinates, but I have no idea how big this window is. I have figured out that's 0, 0, where it starts there. But I don't know how big it is. And so if I want to mess with either the screen or the turtle itself, again, they're objects. I need to know what attributes or properties I can play with. And so what I did was I went to Google and I typed in Python and turtle and documentation, and let's see, so if I go here, I found a couple of things. So the official Python turtle graphics page here, and then a beginner's guide. I haven't looked much at the beginner's guide, but I have the official page here, and it's got all kinds of stuff. Methods and all that. So the methods again are ways to manipulate the object, and then there are the attributes or properties of it that I can look at, and settings, and so I see turtle motion and tell the turtle state and all that. Well, I was interested in the window to start with, and so I see settings and special methods, and so I clicked on that, and then mode, color mode, well, that's probably important to somebody, but not to me. Right now, get shapes, that might be interesting, I don't know. Return a list of the turtles on the screen, so that could be good at some point. But here's what I was looking for: window height and window width. And so that's what I would like to get, is window height. So I highlighted that and said Control C. I'm going to go back here and right in here. I'm going to do H is equal to the window height. So see, I'm taking my turtle, but now actually I can just use an uppercase T for that. And actually now I've got the instance here of window, this particular window. So actually I think I can do this. I haven't tried that yet. And similarly, I want the width, so I'll just highlight that, Control C, do a W here for width, and width. And let's see, I'll print them out. I probably should print the width first, since usually we go X then Y. So print W, comma H. And so I'll run this and insert a cell below it. And so I have a width of 683 and a height of 576. But remember, it starts in the middle at 0, 0. And so what I can do is I could just try moving the turtle various amounts, and so and notice I took my instance here. Again, we use that word instantiated. I instantiated a turtle screen and named it WN, and so then that WN object has some attributes or properties, one of which is height, one of which is width. Then the turtle T1, I can move it again. That was in stuff here, forward, left, and so forth. Well, actually, if I go here, I can look in here at turtle motion, and so what I see are things like, yes, forward, I could get its position if I wanted, but now notice there's back, there's BK, there's backward, all of which do the same thing. And the same thing with right and RT and so forth. And now it also gives a heading, which is interesting. It's not quite the same thing as telling it right one direction or another. I guess we would have to read about heading to know how that's defined. But let's just try, and I see there's things like go to and set position, and so I can, it looks like, I don't know if those are synonyms, go to and set position here. We can play with it and see. But that's a lot of what you do with, you can do with these kinds of things. So I'm going to try moving it. I'm going to go forward. So FD, I'm going to try FD. And, but I'm going to go forward from 0, 0, half the width. Okay, so we will try that, and so my turtle's name is T1 dot FD, right? That was what it was. I've got a short memory. FD for forward. And then how far? Well, I would like to go half the distance. Now, the problem is if I say 683 divided by 2, that's going to give me a floating point number. And I don't think I can go a floating point number. I could try it. But actually, I'm quite happy with integers, so what I'm going to do is do integer division, so it won't take the remainder. So I'm going to try this command, and so I'll go here to cell and run that cell and insert one below it, and I'm going to go here now to look at my window, and sure enough, I went over to the edge. And so now if I wanted to go up to this corner, I could make a left of 90 degrees and head up there. And so let's do that. I'll make a left of 90 and then move forward half the window height. So T1 turn right, no, left, I'm sorry, left 90, and then I am going to do T1 forward and go the 576. And just to be sure, I'll make it an integer by doing integer arithmetic there with the double line. And so now I will run this one. And that opens up another window for me. I can go over here and look. And I can't see it. So that's unfortunate. And now, you know, the question is, can I sort of just erase everything and start over? Good question. Well, you know, what I can do is I can go here to this thing, and it would have something to do with the screen. So, you know, methods or things I want to do with the screen, or again, there's methods, let's see, window control, using screen event, that all looks too much for me. Settings and special methods, yeah, you know, I don't know this stuff, so maybe what I want to do is you know, start here. Okay, and here's just a list. Look, and there's clear screen or reset screen, right? So I'll click clear screen, and there's reset. Delete all drawings and all turtles from the turtle screen. Reset the now empty turtle screen so its initial state, white background, no background image, no event bindings, you know, and it says tracing on, so the tracing is we can see what happened. And now just reset. This turtle screen method is available as a global function only. Yeah, so we probably don't really want to mess with that. Now notice reset screen says reset all turtles on the screen to their initial state, but not the screen itself. So let's try that. Let's try doing reset screen, and so it looks like it's hard to tell whether I want to do it with the whole turtle T, or if I want to do it with my actual turtle, or the screen. And so once again, one can try. So I'm going to try doing the window again, the screen itself, and say reset screen. I think I have it there, and yep, that's reset screen. And so I will try that, see what happens. So I'll run those cells, insert something below, come back here, and sure enough, look at that, it's all back to what it was. Now, why would I do that? Well, I could come back here now, and I found that probably moving 683 divided by 2 was a little too much. Now, if I change that to a 2, I'm going to get the same thing I did before. So, maybe what I want to use is something around 680. And do that. And similarly here, I could use 575 or something, but that would be like using 574 for my number. So I just wanted to make those two numbers a little smaller. So now I'm going to run both of these. Now what I've found is if I click on this one and then I hold the shift key and I click on that one, it highlights both of them, and I can run both cells, and I'll just run them. And now I'm going to come back here and take a look at what I have, and well, I still don't see anything. So that's very unsatisfying. Now I don't want to close that, I just want to go back here. And so what I can do is I can very quickly run that cell, which should clear it. Yes, it does. And then try something that's way smaller. So if I try like 600 and maybe try 560, then I should definitely see those lines. If I don't, then I know that something is very wrong with what I'm trying to do. And so this is just kind of troubleshooting to get an idea of how things work. So I run those cells, I go back here, and sure enough, there they are. Okay, but what I see is, wow, that got me almost to the top up there, and definitely got me pretty far over here. So what I may want to do is make my effective screen smaller than the actual screen if I want to see what's on there. Okay, so I have that, and so now what I could do is again I'll just go back here. I'm not going to do this reset screen anymore. I'm gonna, at least not for now. I may come back to it. And now so if I decide that I want a screen that is about 600 in width and 560 in height, then I can go from minus 300 to 300 on the width, and 280, minus 280 and 280 on the height. And so now I'm going to try that other command I noticed in there when I was looking at the motion, which was the go to, and I'm going to try to go to the bottom corner. So I'm going to try to go to minus 300, and it won't be quite the bottom corner, I hope anyway. And so I'll try that go to. That was under the turtle motion. I saw forward, back, I saw right, left, I saw the go to, And then I'll also try this set position. But first I'll try go to. And so I set that, and I'm going to run that cell. Now I'll go take a look, and look at that, and it traced it all the way down to there. And you see it puts it, looks like, right at the bottom, and that was pretty close to the top. So you know, I may not even want to go quite 280 for height. I may want to go like 275 just to make sure I can see everything. But I have that. Now what I'll do is I'll try to go up here, and I'll use set position to see if it shows me the trace of how I got there, or if it just puts it there. And let's see, so I need to go back here, and that was set position, so I'll say T1 dot set position, and that was still an X of -300. And now I'm not going to go up quite so high, so I'm going to go 275 for a maximum height. And so I'll run this cell, but insert something below, and go look at what happened, and yeah, it still traces it. So it looks to me like the set position is a synonym for go to. So me, I don't know, I think I'd rather just use go to, and so I can see that I can start drawing various lines that way. So those are some motions. Let's see. Now I did see some other interesting things here. I don't remember if it was under motion, because I kind of looked at this stuff a little bit before. So set X. Oh, notice now I just see here it says integer or float. So it looks like you can use fractional positions. So that's good to know. See, up here it didn't really say whether it could be integer or float. Oh, but here it did in right. It could be an angle, it could be a float. Here it says a number. It doesn't really tell me whether that could be an integer or float, so I could experiment with it. You know, I could look at their examples and see. Now everything I see here they keep using, even though they call it a float, I keep seeing integers. Not integer types, but an integer as in a number. Set heading and so forth, so we see some things like that. Oh, tell it to go home, I guess. Here we go. That was some of the stuff I saw. So it says here I can draw a circle, and I can tell it the radius, and then it says a number and an integer, so I'd have to look at what those are. The center is radius units left of the turtle. Okay, an extent, an angle, determines which parts of the circle to draw. And so if extent is not given, the entire circle is drawn. If extent is not a full circle, one endpoint of the arc is the current pen position. So you know, it looks like you know, messing with circles and pieces of circles could be quite interesting. So we are currently, again, we're kind of up in the corner here, and so let's kind of go down maybe more in here, so that would be like negative 150 and maybe a height of 100. So let's go there just to kind of be out in the middle here. So I'm going to do a T1 dot go to, whoops, go to minus 100 and go to maybe 100, and I'll run that cell and insert another below, and then I can see where I am. So I'm here, and of course I keep seeing this turtle, and we'll maybe look at that in another video. But you know, so I have I'm here. Now I'm going to try just drawing a circle to see what happens. And you know, so a lot of this kind of thing you just have to kind of try. So if I say T1 circle, and I'll do a radius of say 20, and just try that and see where it draws it. So cell, run cells and insert below. And so you see it said something about making the center off to the left of where I am now. And so if I wanted the center right here, I'd actually have to move to the right the amount I wanted to do on that radius. And now the question is, though, you know, what's the forward direction right now? So there are little things like that that you would have to kind of try to determine. So this looks like it's actually pointing up. So I think the forward direction right now is actually up, not to the right. And so I think I would need to tell this thing to turn to the right 90 degrees and then move over here to the right 90 degrees. But the other thing I could do is just set the position, you know, 10 units to the right, sorry, 20 units to the right, to draw a circle around where I was. But you can see that could get a little complicated to keep track of, you know. So you know, to draw a nifty picture could take a little work, and you know, to get it to look exactly the way you would like. Okay, but we can do things like draw circles, and looking here, so I see a circle, I see a dot, I see a stamp. I don't know what stamp a copy of the turtle shape onto the canvas, so whatever my current shape is. Clear stamps, okay, I get that. Speed, I'd have to look at that. Position towards, well, that looks interesting. So you go towards a point, but how far, I don't know. You know, the heading, the distance stuff. So see, there are lots and lots of things to go with. And then I see pen control. We could look at that in another video. Pen up, pen down, and those sorts of things. Fill color, so we could try that. You know, but you can kind of experiment with shapes. I think there are other things. I thought I saw other stuff that might have been in the other help page. I thought I saw things like triangles and rectangles and that kind of thing. So there may be those in here. I found circles. Okay, so I think that's plenty for this video. So we'll kind of go back to this and look at what we have and see that we were able to kind of figure out how big our canvas or our screen was, what our coordinates were, and to get an idea of how to draw things within there. So we'll call that done for this video.